Welcome to Relaxed Reddit Readings. Today we have 4 Reddit stories for you. Reddit stories that'll make you question everything. Story 1. My son's fiancé planned a blindfolded wedding dinner. So my son's getting married in 6 months, and I just found out his fiancé wants everyone to eat dinner blindfolded. Yeah, you heard that right. Here's the deal. My future daughter-in-law has some family members who are blind. She's blind in one eye, and her dad is completely blind. Now, I totally get wanting to include everyone in the wedding, that's beautiful. But here's what they're planning. The ceremony is at a small church, totally normal so far. Then we're all going out to eat at this nice restaurant afterwards. Sounds great, right? Well, this weekend I found out that during the dinner, everyone has to wear blindfolds. The idea is that we'll all experience what it's like for the blind family members. They want it to be this bonding experience where we understand their perspective. Now look, I'm all for inclusion and understanding, but eating a fancy dinner while blindfolded? I'm imagining sauce all over my clothes, dropping food everywhere, not being able to have a normal conversation because I can't see anyone's faces. It just sounds like a mess, literally. I told my son that I think it's a sweet gesture in theory, but I'm not comfortable with it. I said I'd rather find other ways to connect with his new family members, maybe learn some basic sign language or just have genuine conversations. But he's upset with me now. He thinks I'm being unsupportive and that I don't care about making his fiancé's family feel included. His fiancé is hurt too, saying I'm rejecting something that's really important to her. The thing is, I do want everyone to feel welcome and included. But I also think there are better ways to do that than forcing everyone into an awkward dining situation. I mean, what if someone chokes because they can't see what they're eating? What if people spill wine all over their wedding outfits? And honestly, wouldn't it be more meaningful to just naturally include the blind family members in conversation and activities, rather than this performative gesture? My wife thinks I should just go along with it to keep the peace. She says it's one dinner and it's not worth causing drama over. But I feel like if I'm uncomfortable with something, should be able to say so without being labeled as unsupportive. Now there's tension in the family, and I'm wondering if I'm being unreasonable. Maybe I'm too focused on the practical issues and missing the bigger picture about inclusion and empathy. Or maybe they're asking too much of their wedding guests. Am I wrong for not wanting to eat my son's wedding dinner blindfolded? If you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story you relate to the most. Story 2. My pregnant girlfriend threw a tantrum over Antacids. So my pregnant girlfriend just had a complete meltdown at a gas station over Pepsid, and I honestly don't know what to think. Let me paint the picture for you. We're out getting late dinner, she's 5 months pregnant, and the acid reflux has been absolutely destroying her lately. Before we even made it to the restaurant, this Coney Island place, so you know it's gonna be greasy, she starts feeling that familiar burn creeping up her throat. All the pharmacies were closed by this point, so I offered to run into a gas station to grab her some Antacids. Simple enough, right? Well, I get to the counter with the Pepsid, and the cashier tells me it's $12. $12 for what you can get at CVS for like $4. I'm standing there thinking that's pretty steep, especially since we've been spending a lot on baby stuff lately and trying to be more careful with money. So I tell my girlfriend about the price when I get back to the car, thinking maybe we could just wait until tomorrow when the pharmacy's open, or try some home remedies for the night. That's when she completely lost it. She starts yelling about how I'm being cheap, how she's carrying our baby and in pain, and how I should just pay whatever it costs. She's crying, saying I don't care about her comfort, that I'm prioritizing $12 over her well-being. The whole parking lot could probably hear her. Now here's the thing, it's not that I wouldn't pay it. Of course I'd pay it if she really needed it. But $12 for something that costs $4 anywhere else just felt like getting ripped off. And honestly, her reaction seemed way over the top for the situation. I tried to calm her down and explain that I wasn't trying to be cheap, I was just surprised by the markup. But she kept going, saying I was making her feel guilty for needing relief from pregnancy symptoms. She demanded I go back in and buy it immediately, and when I hesitated for just a second, she threatened to go in and buy it herself. At that point I just went back and bought the damn Pepsid because I didn't want her getting more worked up. But the whole ride home was tense, and she kept making comments about how I made her feel like her comfort wasn't worth $12. Later that night, I started wondering if maybe I was being unreasonable. Pregnancy hormones are real, acid reflux is genuinely painful, and maybe I should have just bought it without question. But also, her reaction seemed so extreme for what was basically me expressing surprise at the price. I wasn't refusing to buy it, I was just sticker shocked for a moment. My friends are split on this. Some say pregnant women need extra consideration and I should have just handled it quietly. Others think her reaction was way out of line regardless of pregnancy hormones. Was I wrong for hesitating over those $12? Story 3. I ruined my brother's job interview before it even started. So I might have completely destroyed my brother's chances at getting his first job, and now my whole family thinks I'm a terrible person. Here's what happened. My little brother is 19, still lives with our mom, and has been struggling to find work. He didn't graduate high school, which makes everything harder, and he's been living off an allowance from our dad while our mom works day and night just to keep things together. I felt bad for him, so I offered to help him get an interview at the fast food place where I work. I've been there over a year, I have a good reputation, and I figured I could at least get him in the door. He seemed excited about it, so I talked to my manager and set everything up. The interview was scheduled for yesterday afternoon. I told him to meet me at work 30 minutes early so I could introduce him to the manager and give him a quick rundown of what to expect. Well, he shows up 20 minutes late, and I immediately know we have a problem. The manager had already commented that the interview was supposed to start soon and asked where he was. When he finally walks in, I can tell something's off with his attitude. He's got this cocky swagger, like he's doing us a favor by being there. I try to quietly redirect him, whispering that he needs to be more professional, but he just brushes me off. Then he starts talking to my manager, and it gets so much worse. He's interrupting her, making jokes that aren't funny, and basically acting like the job is already his. When she asks about his availability, he says he can't work mornings because he's not a morning person, and he needs every weekend off for his social life. I'm standing there watching my credibility go down the drain. The worst part was when she asked about his work experience. Instead of being honest about not having any, he starts making up these elaborate stories about jobs he's never had. I knew he was lying, she probably knew he was lying, and it was just painful to watch. After about 10 minutes of this train wreck, I couldn't take it anymore. Right there in front of my manager, I snapped and said, "You're never gonna land a job acting like that." The silence that followed was deafening. My manager looked shocked, my brother looked humiliated, and I realized I had just made everything 10 times worse. He stormed out, the manager told me she'd have to pass on him, and now my whole family is furious with me. My mom called me crying, saying I embarrassed him and ruined his chance at independence. My dad thinks I should have handled it privately. Even my coworkers think I went too far, saying I should have let him fail on his own instead of calling him out publicly. But here's the thing, I put my reputation on the line to get him that interview. I've worked hard to build respect at my job, and he was completely disrespecting that. Plus, someone needs to tell him the truth about how job interviews work, right? Maybe I saved him from making the same mistakes at other places. Now he won't talk to me, my family thinks I'm heartless, and I'm wondering if I should have just kept my mouth shut. Was I wrong for calling out my brother during his job interview? Story 4. My ex is crowdfunding her share of our son's activities. So I just discovered my ex-wife is running a fundraiser online, claiming it's for our son, but she's actually using the money for herself. And I'm torn about whether I should expose her or not. Here's the situation. Our son is incredibly talented and got invited to join 2 amazing extracurricular programs this summer. The total cost is $1,400, which honestly isn't cheap, but we all agreed it was worth it for his development. We decided to split it 3 ways, me, my ex-wife, and our son would each pay about $467. Our kid has been working really hard for the past 3 years and actually saved up enough to cover his portion, which makes me super proud of him. I had no problem covering my share either. But then my ex started making excuses about money being tight. I get it, finances can be challenging, but here's where it gets shady. Instead of just asking for help or working out a payment plan, she decided to start an online fundraiser. Now, if she had been honest about it, maybe I could have understood. But she's telling people that the fundraiser is to help our son participate in these activities. She's painting this picture like our kid can't afford to go unless people donate money. The problem is, that's completely false. He already has his portion saved up, and I've already committed to paying mine. She's literally the only one who can't or won't pay her share. So essentially, she's using our son's name and story to raise money for herself, while he still has to use his own savings that he worked 3 years to accumulate. People are donating thinking they're helping a kid achieve his dreams, but really they're just covering for his mom who doesn't want to pay her fair share. I found out about this fundraiser through a mutual friend who saw it and asked me about our financial situation. She was confused because she thought we were both doing well enough to support our son's activities. That's when I realized how deceptive the whole thing was. My ex is essentially committing fraud, using our child as a sympathy case when that's not the reality at all. Part of me wants to expose what's really happening. These people deserve to know that their money isn't going toward helping a struggling kid, it's going toward helping his mom avoid her responsibilities. Plus, I hate that she's teaching our son that it's okay to mislead people for financial gain. But another part of me worries about the fallout. If I out her publicly, it could damage her reputation and relationships, which might ultimately hurt our son too. He might face embarrassment at school or in the community. And co-parenting is already complicated enough without adding this kind of drama. I've thought about confronting her privately first, but honestly, I think she knows exactly what she's doing. This isn't a misunderstanding, it's a deliberate deception. And the longer it goes on, the more money people are donating under false pretenses. Should I expose my ex-wife's fraudulent fundraiser, even if it might cause drama for our son? If you enjoyed these stories, drop a comment telling me which one was your favorite. And if you want more relaxed Reddit readings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment and subscribe for more relaxed Reddit readings.